Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Monday the 10th of May 2021 and we're publishing the 17th episode in our Bitcoin versus Gold and Silver series. In today's episode we look at the rise of Ethereum and concern that perhaps Bitcoin is now in bubble territory. So let's take a look. Now, before we look at Bitcoin's momentum and that rise of Ethereum, just a quick summary of our previous 16 episodes. In episodes 1 to 5, we explained why we launched the series and why people found Bitcoin attractive. We confirmed the size of the equity and gold and silver markets and compared them with Bitcoin's capitalization value. We also highlighted a non-exhaustive list of the disadvantages of Bitcoin, which are similar to other cryptocurrencies, and that Skybridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci had launched a brand new Bitcoin fund and the reasons for doing so. We further looked at the intrinsic value of gold and silver compared with the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. Now, in episodes 6 to 10, we looked at a number of YouTube and Google influencers and why Bitcoin's prices fluctuated so much. We analysed the effect of how the shortage of microchips affected the ability to mine more Bitcoin. And we also covered the Reddit Robinhood short squeeze on Bitcoin, or at least its attempt, and how some of the serious fund managers and hedge funds were predicting $85,000 Bitcoin into the not too distant future. And then finally, in episodes 11 to 16, we talked about the potential future direction for Bitcoin, gold and silver, and compared gold and silver's weakness with Bitcoin's robustness, at least at that stage, and concluded that Bitcoin still has further to rise, while gold and silver were likely to consolidate at least in the short term. Now, when Bitcoin reached $60,000, we asked when will the bubble burst, against a backdrop of former Bitcoin skeptic JP Morgan stating that Bitcoin could climb as high as $130,000 in the long term if it continues to see its volatility converge with that of gold. Well, that's a summary. At the time of writing this article or podcast or video, which is 14:20 GMT, we can see that gold is up $9 today at $1,840 and silver is up 22 cents at $27.70, which is broadly based on our predictions in our weekly update published yesterday, expecting a strengthening of gold and silver early this week. And then with more economic data to be announced later on, we shall see whether that continued strength is maintained. Bitcoin, meanwhile, is up $585 in the last 24 hours and currently stands at $58,303. Now, just a few hours ago, Bloomberg published an article concerning Ethereum and whether, of course, Bitcoin is now entering bubble territory. So let's take a quick look at that article. It is relatively short. Bloomberg article dated 10th of May 2021. Headline: Bitcoin's waning dominance stirs warning of crypto market froth. Parabolic jumps in digital tokens such as Ether, Dogecoin, and Binance Coin are outshining Bitcoin, prompting more questions about whether that segment of the cryptocurrency sector is ripe for a reckoning. The rallies have contributed to a slump in Bitcoin's share of the $2.6 trillion crypto market to 43%, from about 70% at the start of 2021, a metric that for strategists at JP Morgan Chase & Co. and DataTrack Research LLC may be a warning sign of investor excess in a range of digital tokens. Bitcoin's waning dominance carries echoes of froth to the extent it's being fueled by a rally in other cryptocurrencies driven more by retail demand. A JP Morgan team led by Nikolaos Pangutsoglu wrote in a note on Friday. Sorry if we mispronounce his name. DataTrack's co-founder, Nicholas Colas, has indicated that history suggests tokens outside Bitcoin can drop pretty quickly when Bitcoin's share hits 40%. Plenty of commentators have been fretting for some time that a stimulus-fueled peak is at hand in cryptocurrencies, only to see them rally even more. But the worry is hard to shake in a sector that defies traditional investment analysis. The share of the largest cryptocurrency could be declining because investors are getting more comfortable with a wider array of tokens. Alternatively, retail traders may be chasing quick speculative gains. Even if you don't invest in the space, this is worth tracking, DataTrex Colas wrote in a recent note. He added that with more than $2 trillion now invested in virtual currencies, a meaningful reset lower could also affect more traditional financial assets like equities. For the JP Morgan team, the possible retail-driven froth in cryptocurrencies is a reminder of late 2017 when a crypto boom peaked. Ether record. Among the most notable moves in the crypto market Monday was Ether's jump past $4,000 for the first time, after a climb of more than 2,000% in the past year. The JP Morgan team said an analysis of activity on the affiliated Ethereum blockchain suggests a lower fair value of $1,000 for the token. Dogecoin, which started as a joke in 2013 but is now a dominating internet meme and sitting on a 20,000% advance in the past year, captured the headlines over the weekend. First off, billionaire Elon Musk cited the token again, this time in a much-touted television appearance on the US show Saturday Night Live. Later it emerged that the cryptocurrency is apparently being used to pay for a lunar satellite launch with SpaceX, Musk's commercial rocket firm. Bitcoin was up 1.7% Monday at about $58,887 as of 8:30 a.m. in London. The largest cryptocurrency remains some way shy of April's record of $64,870 after a pullback. End of article. Okay, that was quite interesting. Ethereum, though, is now currently standing at $4,162 and, like Bitcoin, is up today, currently by nearly 10% over the past 24 hours. Its all-time high, in comparison, was $4,172, so just $10 higher than the current price. And there is a current supply of 115.81 million coins, with $16 billion worth transacted in the past 24 hours alone. So Ethereum clearly is becoming quite a star. Now, we're not surprised to see some of the, shall we say, lower or less well-known cryptocurrencies doing so well and becoming more readily accepted. And providing, of course, there isn't a general crash in the crypto market, which is always a possibility, as we saw a few years ago, we can envisage some of the other coins speeding ahead as Bitcoin continues to become even more expensive. Now, we're not saying for one moment we expect those coins to be worth more than Bitcoin, but we could potentially see a disproportionate rise, percentage-wise, in these other coins. This is based on a similar rationale for some investors when they switch from gold to silver. As gold becomes proportionately more or too expensive, people then use silver as an alternative. And there is much evidence to support that similar is happening within the cryptocurrency market. Now, whether we're close to a collapse or not is uncertain. And of course, we're looking at equity values being quite high currently too. For example, already this morning, we can see that the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 148 points or 0.4% at 34,925, and it is envisaged that the other markets will rise similarly, though the Nasdaq is very marginally down 100 points or 0.8%. Needless to say, there has to be some corrections in all of these asset bubbles. But while the Fed continues to print more and more money, and various governments are intent on feeding more infrastructure spending into the economy, then such collapses may be delayed somewhat, but inevitably we shall witness them. What do you think? Do share your thoughts with us. Do you now believe perhaps Bitcoin has reached its zenith, at least short term? Or can you see it rising further? Are other cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum and Dogecoin and a list of others, of which there are multiple hundreds, as we pointed out in earlier videos, perhaps offer better value and are worth a punt? Of course, those on this channel are more convinced by gold and silver, that goes without saying, and we are now seeing rises in both of these, as at last they're starting slowly but assuredly to rise again. Do share your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, do subscribe to the channel, not forgetting to press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos as and when they're published. And later this evening, we'll be publishing a video with Greg on the Richard and Greg channel, where we're going to talk about the elections in the United Kingdom and what messages there are for politicians and for the people who perhaps in large measure across not just the UK but many parts of the world tend not to turn out and enforce their democratic rights. Thank you once again. We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Please ensure that you have subscribed to our channel and press the bell sign so that you are notified of any future videos. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe either as a free or paying member for regular email updates and offers. Disclaimer: Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.